First and foremost, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible. Low Nose Boxing. Hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe. We've been having a very interesting week in boxing. First off, we had the victory from Terrence Bud Crawford over Canelo Alvarez to solidify himself as a future all-time great. Now you know how I carry it. I'm not one to really rank dudes on the list until their careers are over, but it's pretty much safe to say that Terrence Crawford is on the trajectory. If he were to retire today, he would make a top 5, top 7 all-time great list. And no disrespect to Canelo Alvarez. For me, Canelo, if he were to retire today, he's on the trajectory to be somewhere among the top 15 all time. But I don't want to talk about Canelo Alvarez. I'm not here to talk about Terrence Bud Crawford. It's time to move forward in boxing. If you've been following my channel, then you already know that I'm heavily invested on the quote-unquote young kings. And I'm not going to call them the young kings, the 4 young kings, the new kings, out of respect to the original bunch: Sugar Ray Leonard, Wilfredo Benitez, Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler. I'm just going to call these gentlemen the young guns of boxing. Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. And we still got maybe one more or maybe 2 more that's in the process of earning his way in this group of fantastic fighters. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson. There's rumors that this fight is going to be on PBC, right? Backed by Turki Al-Sheikh in New York City. With that being said, we all know that whenever a fight from PBC is in New York City, they usually do fights at the BARCLAY Center, Brooklyn, New York, where Teofimo Lopez is from. Shakur Stevenson is from Newark, New Jersey. This is an East Coast fight. I don't have no problems with big fights going to Riyadh season, because at the end of the day, Turki Al-Sheikh has been giving us the best cards in boxing since the Don King era. But Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is a fight that belongs in New York City. This is a fight that belongs at the Barclays Center. This is probably the biggest fight for 2026. Even though there aren't really any cards lined up for 2026 as of now, but I believe that 2026 is going to be a very big year in boxing. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson marks, for me, the first official fight from the young guns, right? A lot of people say, oh, Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis was a young gun fight. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney was a young gun fight, right? Here's my take on that. When the original 4 kings started fighting each other, and pardon the noise in the background, I got my washing machine washing up my drip, making sure I'm smelling good, smelling decent, making sure I'm on point, but nevertheless work with me. This is not a perfect environment. I'm just talking off the hip right now, but I'm speaking the truth. With that being said, the original kings, when they fought each other, when it started between Ray Leonard and Wilfredo Benitez, those 2 guys were already established. Benitez was a 2-division champion by the age of 21. Champion at 17, Guinness Book of World Records. Sugar Ray Leonard was an Olympic gold medalist. Ryan Garcia did not bring any accolades into the Tank Davis fight. Ryan Garcia did not bring any accolades into the Devin Haney fight. Fast forward, Teofimo Lopez, 2-time undisputed champion, 2-time lineal champion, versus Shakur Stevenson, 3-division champion, former unified champion. Both fighters have special effects. Both fighters are in their 20s. Both fighters on my top 10 pound for pound list. This is the type of fight that we need in boxing. The winner of this fight is easily a top 5 pound for pound fighter today, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Teofimo Lopez is going to be the underdog due to his inconsistency in his performances, but I like his chances because Teo, as an underdog, has shown that he fights up to the level of his competition. The man is highly skilled, highly accomplished, highly athletic, highly gifted. He's a Latino fighter with a slick black fighter style, mixed in with the Latino punching power, plus the swag, plus the showmanship of a Roy Jones Jr. and a Hector Macho Camacho. Shakur Stevenson, highly defensive, highly skilled, highly intelligent wizard inside that ring. He can go down eventually as one of the greatest southpaws of all time, to join the names of Manny Pacquiao, Pernell Whitaker, Marvin Hagler, Terrence Bud Crawford. You feel where I'm coming from? This is a 50-50 fight. This is a fight that has a chance to do well. However, in terms of blood and guts, rock'em sock'em robots, this is not going to be that type of fight. This is the type of fight where you're going to see a lot of defensive moves, a lot of counter punching, a lot of defense, a lot of highly intelligent / special effects. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is the type of fight that we need in boxing. The winner of this fight, if Gervonta Tank Davis decides to stay in fighting real fights, has to get a Gervonta Davis fight. That's how I see it, and that's how I'm calling it. Teo versus Shakur Stevenson has a lot of ways of being built up. We already know that Teofimo Lopez has said controversial things in the past regarding the black fighters, the African American fighters. Teofimo Lopez has said some things about Puerto Rican fighters. And I'm a Puerto Rican individual, right? Puerto Rican American. And I still support Teo, right? Because I know he's just doing it to sell himself, right? But I'm not a fan of what he says. I'm a fan of how he fights and other things that he does outside the ring as far as being the people's champion. Shakur Stevenson, a fighter that I'm a very big fan of as well. I like how he carries himself. What Shakur Stevenson does, unlike a lot of fighters today, he does not talk down on his opponents. He might pop his mess. He might, call him some words every now and then, because Shakur Stevenson is from Newark, New Jersey. He got the bravado. But what I like about Shakur Stevenson is that he bigs up his opponents. He doesn't go out there and call them bums after the fight or leading into the fight, because he wants to make sure that when he beats his opponents, he's going to get full credit. He's taking a page out of Floyd Mayweather Jr. When Floyd used to go out there and say he's a tremendous fighter, he's one hell of a competitor. Shakur Stevenson has always said in the past, Teofimo Lopez is the truth. He's always said that Teofimo Lopez is a bad mamma jamma. Shout out to Mill City Boxing. One of his older interviews with Shakur Stevenson, right prior to him and Teofimo having a fallout, Shakur Stevenson said that he picks Teofimo Lopez to defeat Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, right? Shakur Stevenson eventually started talking greasy about Teo, because Teo started talking greasy about him. When Teo went out there and criticized him for the performance against Edwin De Los Santos, Shakur Stevenson started calling him a B, the B word. I don't want to curse right now. I'm a born-again Christian, right? I've been a born-again Christian, but I'm really trying to toe down on how I talk. You know what I mean? With that being said, Shakur Stevenson went at Teofimo Lopez for the things that happened in the past between Teo, his dad, and Keyshawn Davis's people with the rumble that happened inside the gym. Regardless of what went down outside the ring. Inside the ring, Shakur Stevenson did acknowledge that Teofimo Lopez is not a punk. Teofimo Lopez is the truth. Both guys have history with each other. Both guys respect each other's skill set. Shakur Stevenson has the opportunity to really market himself and gather the backing of the Puerto Rican fan base. If he goes out there and says, listen, man, you spoke bad about my black people. You spoke bad about my Puerto Rican people. I'm coming out there to represent both. Shakur Stevenson has the opportunity to have not only the African American hip hop fan base behind him, he also has the opportunity to have the Puerto Rican fan base behind him if he markets himself properly during the buildup of the fight. Teofimo Lopez is an anomaly because despite the things that he says, the fans have continuously forgiven Teofimo Lopez. In New York City, make no mistake about it, Teo still has a lot of African American fans that back his play. And I know this because I'm amongst the people. My whole circle is African American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, all that. Teofimo Lopez still has Puerto Rican fans from New York City that back his play. So Teo versus Shakur Stevenson is going to be a movie in New York City. Hopefully they put up a good undercard. Nevertheless, this is a high-level skill fight. The winner of this fight is top 5 pound for pound. The winner of this fight takes the lead and becomes the leader of the new young guns, the new generation of kings in boxing. Teo set it off when he went out there and took on Lomachenko when nobody wanted to smoke with Lomachenko. He suffered a loss. He bounced back. He already showed that he's the type of fighter that can lose and bounce back like nothing ever happened. He dominated Josh Taylor. Eventually, he went on to dominate Arnold Barboza, who's a very accomplished in terms of solid wins, earning and deserving. Shakur Stevenson has been trying to get the big fights, highly avoided. But Teo stepped to the plate. I'm looking forward to this fight, and so should you. With that being said, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, Low Nose Boxing, because Low Nose Boxing, I'm out. Pa que tú lo sepas, puñeta.